Hugging the thighs, the counterattack of the era. Chapter 1 Wearing a book to become a superb woman? Panic in the evening. When I woke up from my deep sleep, I was greeted by an old house full of age and an old-fashioned kerosene lamp hanging on the wall. She suddenly realized that she was wearing a book, and she actually wore the best concubine that everyone hated in the period literature. This concubine, named Guhuero, eats, drinks and has fun, does not do her job, and often bullies her daughter-in-law Tang Shiyun, and tries in vain to steal the heart of the male protagonist Ning Taking. Pinzixi muttered in her heart, "This is bad. If you follow the plot, Guhuero will be swept out of the house, and the rest of her life will be miserable. I don't want to do this." She took a deep breath and decided to take the initiative to change her fate, especially hugging the thigh of her sister-in-law Tang Shiyun, who will become a female factory director in the future and is peerless. Chapter 2 The first encounter with his sister-in-law Tang Shiyun. At the beginning, Guhuero was still the same, lying lazily on the rocking chair, looking at her busy sister-in-law Tang Shiyun. Tang Shiyun was wearing a simple but capable cotton shirt, his hands and feet were nimble, and his eyebrows and eyes were full of perseverance. Pinxi secretly said in her heart, "This is the real strong woman, I have to get close to her." So she deliberately showed gentleness and softness, took the initiative to help with housework, and secretly brought her sister-in-law's favorite shandong flatbread from outside. Tang Shiyun looked at Guhuero's sudden change, and was slightly surprised in his heart, but he didn't say anything. Chapter 3 Family Turmoil, Guhuero's Renovation Plan. The rest of the family was still a little suspicious of Guhuero. Sister-in-law Gu Rongrong sneered, "Huero, how long can you last like this?" Pinxi replied with a smile, "Sister Rongrong, I'm a new person now, and there's nothing that can't be solved by hard work." In order to prove herself, she offered to help her family's handicraft factory tally and count, and slowly gained a good reputation among her neighbors. At the same time, she secretly learned the skills of operation and management from her sister-in-law. Unconsciously, Guhuero is no longer the idle and lazy best concubine, but has become an indispensable helper at home. Chapter 4 Dark Tides, a crisis in my sister-in-law's life. However, the good times did not last long, and with the expansion of the factory, the foreign capitalist Hong Qiwan began to eye the factory. Sister-in-law Tang Shiyun rejected his acquisition offer, which angered Hong Qiwan and began to resort to shady tricks. Spies were implanted inside the factory, equipment was destroyed, and there were even rumors trying to discredit Tang Shiyun. Guhuero saw that her sister-in-law's pressure was getting bigger and bigger, and she was both distressed and angry. She secretly vowed to use all means to protect her sister-in-law and this family. Chapter 5 Guhuero's Counterattack, Outsmarting the Capitalists. Guhuero began to plan a counterattack. She contacted workers in neighboring villages, formed makeshift teams, and secretly repaired damaged equipment. At the same time, she inquired about Hong Qiwan's details through her own network. Eventually, at an important factory meeting, she exposed Hong Qiwan's conspiracy and presented evidence to prove the identity of the spy. Hong Qiwan was exposed on the spot, and his reputation plummeted. Tang Shiyun's attitude towards Guhuero also changed completely, and the two truly became close sisters. Chapter 6 Family Reconciliation and New Challenges. After Hong Qiwan was defeated, the Gu family gradually reconciled. The sister-in-law Gu Rongrong agreed with Guhuero's efforts, and her brother Ning Taking also began to face up to the efforts of her sister-in-law and concubine. However, the tide of the times, changes in economic policies and the external environment have brought new challenges to the factory. Guhuero and Tang Shiyun worked together to transform the factory into a state-of-the-art enterprise led by female workers. They began to nurture the younger generation, imparting knowledge and spirituality. Chapter 7 Emotional Entanglement, Guhuero's Growth and Love. With the stability of her career, Guhuero also ushered in emotional twists and turns. She met Luo Chenxian, a kind and honest engineer, and the two approached because they took care of the factory together. However, Luo Jingxuan's ex-girlfriend, Zhang Wangqing, who has a prominent background, has troubled from time to time. Gu Huirou relied on wisdom and sincerity to resolve misunderstandings and make herself more mature. In the end, she and Luo Chenxian joined hands to welcome a new chapter in their lives. Chapter 8 A New Future, The Legend of the Ages. A few years later, Gu Huirou is no longer the best concubine who is ridiculed in the book, but has become a model for women of the era. Together with her sister-in-law, Tang Shiyun, she founded the Women's United Association, which is dedicated to improving the working environment and status of women. Their stories were published in newspaper headlines and became legends that inspired a generation. In the tide of the times, Pingxi has completed self-redemption and led the people around him to a better future. Chapter 9, Zhang Wangqing's Shadow. The relationship between Gu Huirou and Luo Chenxian is gradually getting better, however, Zhang Wangqing, Luo Jingxuan's ex-girlfriend, is unwilling to let go. Zhang Wangqing was born in a wealthy family, with a graceful demeanor, and is good at using her connections and resources, and has a lot of influence in the business and social circles. She secretly continued to create misunderstandings, framed Gu Huirou for stealing design drafts, and even tried to win over some workers in the factory to oppose Gu Huirou's management. Gu Huirou fell into an unprecedented crisis, and in the face of pressure from inside and outside, she chose to deal with it calmly. She secretly investigated Zhang Wangqing's background and found that she had a larger group behind her. In the face of this menacing opponent, Gu Huirou teamed up with her sister-in-law Tang Shiyun to formulate a counterattack plan. Chapter 10, Breaking the Conspiracy, Turbulence in the Factory. Through secret visits and a patchwork of clues, Gu Huirou dug up evidence that Zhang Wangqing and the group tried to control the lifeblood of the factory. They chose to expose the conspiracy in public at a factory-wide meeting. At the venue, Zhang Wangqing behaved calmly, but in the face of ironclad evidence, she could not deny it after all. The workers in the factory were also moved by Gu Huirou's sincere attitude and stood up to support her. This turmoil not only did not crush Gu Huirou, but made her win greater trust and respect in the hearts of the workers. Chapter 11, The Coming of New Life. After going through many hardships, Gu Huirou ushered in a new joy in life. She was pregnant. The news sent the whole family to a state of bliss. Sister-in-law Tang Shiyun took care of her like a mother and taught her how to be a strong mother in the changing times. Gu Huirou also understands that this new life will be the biggest motivation for her to persist and struggle in the future. Chapter 12 The Transformation of the Factory, The Rise of Female Power. With the passage of time, the traditional way of operating factories has become more and more difficult to maintain. Gu Huirou cooperated with Tang Shiyun to actively promote the technological innovation and management modernization of the factory. They introduced new weaving machinery and quality control standards to improve the competitiveness of their products. More importantly, they have made great efforts to train female skilled workers and promote the status of women in industrial production. The factory has gradually become a well-known model of female enterprises in the province. Chapter 13 Luo Jingxuan's Growth and Change. With the support of Gu Huirou, Luo Chenxian has also continued to grow. He gradually became the backbone of the factory from an ordinary engineer and learned how to find a balance between business and human feelings. The relationship between the two is getting deeper and deeper, and in the face of the ups and downs of life, they support each other and face it together. Chapter 14, A Test of Fate, An Accident. When Gu Huirou was 7 months pregnant, a fire suddenly broke out near the factory. The fire was fierce, the plant was partially damaged, and the employees were frightened. Gu Huirou personally led the rescue team to calm the workers' emotions and assist in the clean-up and reconstruction. In the fire, she was slightly injured, but fortunately the fetus in her womb was unharmed. This accident strengthened her determination to reform and protect the family. underscore 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 un. Chapter 15 Welcome to the new life and build the dream of the future. After the fire, Gu Huiro used her savings to rebuild the factory and introduce safer equipment. She and Luo Chenxian welcomed a healthy daughter, named Gu Mengran. The birth of Gu Mengran has become a symbol of hope for the future of the family and the company. Gu Huiro and Tang Shiyun continued to work side by side to develop the factory into a nationally renowned green environmental protection enterprise. They have proved that the power of women can not only protect families, but also change the world. Underscore 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 un. Perfect ending, the legend of the women of the era. Gu Huiro has transformed from a best concubine who is misunderstood by the world to a model for women of the times. The persistence and struggle of her and her sister-in-law Tang Shiyun rewrote the fate of the family and affected the entire society. Luo Chenxian joined hands with her to build a happy family, and her daughter Gu Mengran was also under the influence of her parents, ready to meet her own future. It's a true and touching story of love, responsibility, growth, and breakthrough. Underscore 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 un. Postscript. In that era, the status of women was restricted, and Pingxi showed her perseverance as Gu Huiro. She subverted the established destiny with her actions, proving that no matter what her identity is, as long as she dares to challenge and change, everyone can become the protagonist of their own life. This story hopes to inspire every reader to hold on to the concubine in life, no matter how many difficulties they face, which is the most powerful source of strength.